Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to talk about what's going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Terrence Rhodes of the Dallas Police Department's Criminal Investigations Group. I'm here to provide the details as we know them on the death in custody that occurred on August 17, 2022 at 221 Star Street. Body-worn camera video will be shown at the end of this presentation. On August 17, 2022 at about 12:18 p.m., the Dallas Police Gang Unit responded to 221 Star Street regarding an investigation into stolen vehicles at the home. Dallas police were following up on an anonymous tip about a wanted suspect in vehicles at the location. The preliminary investigation determined officers went to the front of the house and attempted to contact the people inside. The two officers knocked on the front door and the suspect, Paublo Ramos, 53, opened the door and then immediately shut it and locked it after seeing the officers. Officers requested additional police to the scene and the perimeter was set up around the location. Once other gang unit elements arrived, anyone that was inside the home was asked to exit. 6 people left the house, but Ramos did not exit. In the backyard, officers found a stolen vehicle in the process of being stripped of parts and also located other vehicles that appeared to be stolen and contacted the Dallas Police Auto Theft Unit. Auto Theft then obtained a search warrant for the location. SWAT responded and over the next few hours tried to make contact with the suspect, asking him via loudspeaker to come out of a hiding spot in the attic and surrender. SWAT also deployed gas into the house in an effort to have Ramos exit with no response. At approximately 6:50 p.m., SWAT inserted a camera in the attic of the home and located Ramos unable to exit under his own strength. SWAT then cut a hole in the roof to safely remove him. Medical aid was immediately started by a SWAT doctor in Dallas Fire Rescue, and Ramos was taken to a local hospital by DFR, where he died at 7:53 p.m. The Dallas Police Special Investigations Unit is conducting a death in custody investigation. The Dallas County Medical Examiner is conducting an autopsy. The Office of Police Community Oversight and Dallas County District Attorney's Office were made aware of this incident. The Dallas County District Attorney's Office will conduct their own investigation. In an effort to be transparent, the Dallas Police Department is releasing the body-worn camera footage of the incident.
So nothing wrong with your audio. This is typical pre-event buffer for body cameras. When the body cameras are activated, they start recording. That's when the audio picks up. If it's in pre-event buffer, it'll just show the video leading up to before the person hits the actual event button to make it start hard copy recording. So basically, up until that point, when you hit the button to make it record, it's in this continuous cycle or this continuous loop of record, delete, record, delete, record, delete, record, delete, record, delete. That way, it can provide up to 30 seconds of video before you hit the event button. So nothing wrong with it. Like I said, nothing wrong with the audio or anything. However, I will say that they're going to a call and they're getting out of their vehicles. They should already have these cameras rolling and turned on at this point. I think that's the best practice to have, is when you go to a call, before you even get out of that damn car, before you ever pull up to the fucking house or wherever it is, hit that record button and get that camera rolling. That way, when you get out of your vehicle and something pops off right then and there, the camera's already on. It's already picking up audio. It's already picking up everything you need to. And that's really an important factor too, is being able to pick up the audio. Like right now, we're picking up video and everything, but we can't hear what's going on. We don't know what's being said in the background, and sometimes the verbal stuff is important because that can come into play later on. Whether one person said this or one person said that, or if it was even said at all, if nothing was said at all. So before you ever get out of the car, before you ever pull up on the street, I think it's the best practice to just reach down, hit record, get out, do your thing, and then when you get back in the car and leave, turn the camera off. If you because you do that, you end up having a bunch of like bullshit recordings on your camera. Oh well, so be it. It doesn't take much to go fucking dock that damn thing and wipe the camera and have them uploaded and then restart again. I think it's a better problem to have too much footage than to potentially have someone in a situation where they lost the ability to capture any good footage, because sometimes this footage can be stuff that can exonerate you. Like, there are some people that if it weren't for that footage, there would still be a lot of doubt. And when it comes to stuff where people die and there's a jury involved, you want all the shit to help you that you can to be there for you, to help you in your time of need. Because a jury is just common people. Like, it's people who don't understand shit. Like, when people say, I'd rather be carried by 12 than carried by 6, I'm like, you've never sit on jury duty before, have you? Like, there's some dumb motherfuckers that get called to jury duty and end up sitting on the jury. Like, it's scary. It really is. So the more stuff you can have to help exonerate you, the better. So get the cameras rolling, get them started before you ever get out.
I'm looking for some. You're good. Hey. It's Martinez. Gang it. I'm here to talk. You're good. Don't be stupid.
There's a bunch of junk laying around. It's kind of typical of places like this. There's got a bunch of shit laying around. Criminals can be some very messy people.
Hey, come here! Come to me!
So this is, man, that's going up into an attic like that, shit, man, that's probably one of the hairiest things that you can do is pop your head up in a fucking hole like that, because you have no idea what the fuck's up there. It could be like a game of whack-a-mole, and you're the mole about to get whacked. There's some things you can do before you pop your head up and start looking around in there. Use a mirror, stick that mirror up there, and rotate that mirror around and look around up there. If you have, let's say, like you have an Axon camera, you can get the Axon app for your phone and be able to live view what your camera's seeing through the app on your phone. So you could take that camera, hold it up with your hand, and turn the camera around, rotate it around, look around up there, and look at your phone and see what the camera's looking at. And if they fucking shoot at you, then at least the only thing they're going to be able to shoot is maybe your hand. You can do that. Depending on the size of it and everything, there's a potential of like using a drone or something like that. I don't think that probably the best option to utilize. I think a mirror is a pretty good one to use, or doing a bluff move. Sticking that hand up there with the flashlight and moving it around, seeing if some kind of reaction occurs at that point. Other than that, like, it's a fucking damn, man, it's a risky ass thing being that first one up the hole into an attic. Because typically those entryways into an attic, you can't get two people up there at once, so you can't have two people pop up suddenly and one cover one sector and one cover the other. he's just gonna, you have to make it work. Yeah. Going in the attics or climbing up a ladder or something like that and then poking your head up around there, like that's some hairy fucking shit, man. Like that's, talk about, oh damn, pucker factor right there. You know, these houses, like on the ends, they have the ventilation things. So, you know, one thing that could also be done is, you know, get the fire department out there, have some ladders set up, and someone go up that ladder to one of those ventilation things, coordinate it where the person at the opening here shines their light and starts making a bunch of noise. That way, whoever's inside will look towards the opening, and then whoever's on the outside can maybe try and peek in through one of those ventilation things and see if they can see anything, or they can rip that damn thing off, and then there are going to be two things that someone could be potentially having to look at and go about that way. And while I'm talking about the fire department, so I talked about, you know, the body camera being able to be stuck up there and look around. So the fire departments also have thermal imaging cameras that can kind of do the same thing, depending on what model they've got. So there's a lot of different fire cameras, the thermal imaging cameras, that'll have a remote viewer so that the incident commander or operations chief can be looking at this thing and seeing what's going on. So you'll have someone with a thermal camera, they're looking around and they're looking at stuff too, but then there's also that second set of eyes who's looking at this remote viewer and is seeing what the person with the camera is seeing. So there's also that possibility of getting that type of thermal camera, sticking it up, rotating it around, getting a good view of stuff by looking at that remote viewer and never having to poke your head up through the opening itself. And then K9, like this is also a good environment for the K9 to be able to go in and potentially go do something as well. It's, you know, that's part of the reason why the dogs are there, is to take the bullet instead of the human.
Come to me! Hold that, I'm in the attic with him. Hold it. Send me one more up here. Yeah, he's unresponsive. Hey, who's up? Hey, come on, who's up? Come here, I'm with you. Hey, go around this way, to the left. I've got him covered. Yep, go ahead. Hey. No, he's not in very good shape. $11-41. If you go to where these louvers are, Holy, show me your hand. Where that whirly bird was, hang on, he's moving, hang on. Pull that camera down. Pull that camera down.
Okay, so they do have a camera right there. I was wondering what the fuck that was sticking up. So it looks like they punched a camera.
Hey,
through the ceiling into the space there.
Carter. Yeah. If he engages, you pull back. Yeah.
How far?
All right, so they did use a camera to poke through the ceiling to look around inside that space before anybody went up, so that's good.
That hand up. Let's go. Crawl, crawl, crawl. 10-4, just hold it. Hey, Carter, hold him there a sec. Hey, Scotty! I got a 2x4. 24 inches, another 2x4. I need a hole in between. Right here. Scotty! We're gonna cut a hole. Just watch him. Wait up.
If you got a litter, throw it over. There's a litter.
Ladder for a litter.
Mine's might. Probably gonna have to. Either that or grab that APC and bring it up here so we can lower him onto the APC. Well, I'm thinking if Rob thinks he can do it, if we put the boom down, do you think he can crash and drive that APC right up here and we can just lower him onto the APC? Yeah, and bring him down to the APC? Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we can do that, that'd be the easiest way to do it, I think.
APC pulled in. Get Rob, maneuver the APC this way and we can drop him on the APC.
So they use a saw to cut into the ceiling here to be able to remove him out. Kind of something like what the fire departments would do when doing ventilation work. They cut a hole in the damn ceiling, and also cutting a hole in the ceiling is a way to gain access to something like an attic. It could be a whole lot safer to cut a hole in the roof to gain access into that versus trying to actually go into the actual opening of the attic itself. They utilized webbing. They utilized webbing to help lift this guy up. So that's a good thing about having webbing in your kit. Tubular webbing is pretty resourceful in being able to effect a lift rescue like this. You can take it, put it around the person's torso. Two other people can also assist in doing the lifting, and you can lift a person up out of a kind of a smaller confined space, so to speak, to get them out of there. Firefighters will typically carry a little roll of tubular webbing on them, and one of the reasons for it is to be able to do stuff like this. You'll see law enforcement or tactical people on their plate carriers. They may also have some tubular webbing on there, and the tubular webbing is also for the same kind of purpose of extracting a person out. Sometimes that tubular webbing is woven into the panels of that plate carrier, and they can use that as kind of like a drag handle kind of thing, or you can just have the looser attachment of it and wrap the webbing around the person, and then use that to drag them out. So there's a method of taking the tubular webbing, wrapping around the person's chest, and then also having it wrapped around you, and being able to low crawl out and still being able to drag that person with you, or kind of behind you, under you, sort of, just by using that webbing. So it's pretty versatile. It has a lot of different uses, and using it to lift people out or carry them out is a good use for it. So tubular webbing is something that would be a good investment to be able to have.
Yourself here, bro. Keep your eyes shut, all right? We got you, man.
Come on, backward of the APC, Scott.
Hey, relax.
Hey, chill, bro. Chill.
Relax.
We're gonna get you down. You're gonna see a doctor in just a second,
Hey,
all
let's
right?
rotate his head this way.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Chill. We're not gonna let you fall.
We're not gonna let you go.
Chill out. Chill out, brother. Chill out.
Strap.
That's right, man. Please.
So I guess I don't know if they had this with them or if they just found it and improvised with it, but I thought they just had like regular tubular webbing. I didn't know they had a fucking toe strap for a trailer.
Yeah, lay that down. Lift him up this, put him on here.
Hey, rotate him this way. Hey, come and test me.
Lift him up. There you go. Okay.
Just strap him down the best we can.
Hey, keep your hands right here for me, okay?
Hey, strap over here.
Stay down,
bro.
Stay down. Hey, you have to grab his arms.
I got it.
Both of them. Pull him back up. Pull him. All right.
Get your hand right here.
Stay right here. You're good. Stay here. Hey, stay here.
It ain't gonna go tight. Hey, you got the 5. Go across it. Can we get one hooked around his chest? We'll be good.
That's what we're trying to do.
Lift up.
Turn. All right. Oh, fuck.
Holy shit.
All right. Oh,
That's a fucking failure.
Stop moving, brother. We got you, all right? Hey, the straps on this are right. We need another strap.
All right, so going back into what I've talked about, tubular webbing. So if you got tubular webbing and one of the straps on the backboard is dry rotted and fucking breaks when you're trying to put it on, you can take tubular webbing and you can make straps to tie the person down with onto that backboard. Ideally, it's best to use a pre-made product to strap a person down to a spine board, like spider straps. So, I don't know if this was just a spine board that the SWAT team got from the fire department and they've been keeping it in their shit, or if the fire department's there, like this ambulance that you can see in the background, and they got it from the ambulance. I would imagine that probably the ambulance crew would have noticed like their shit was fucked up or about to fail and they would have replaced it. I don't know that for sure. I would just suspect they would. So I kind of think that maybe this could have been a spine board that they took from the fire department and they kept it in their truck and it just sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there, and it's just old. And that's why that strap failed when that officer started pulling on it. So, like I said,
moving, brother. We got you.
That's another good use for webbing, is being able to make straps on a spine board to hold a person down.
Hey, the straps on this are right. We need another strap.
Spider straps are the best thing to use.
I thought it was hooked on. No, stay down, bro.
Unhook it.
The spider straps it's basically one long, without having the visual, it's kind of hard to verbally explain it. So It's just one long strap that goes down from basically chest all the way down to feet. It's Y-shaped, basically. So it's like a Y. The Y, upper top of the Y would be right here. So it's kind of like a Y-shaped strap. These two little Ys, they'll be up here. They're Velcro, so you can unlatch it, run it through the handles of the spine board, and then strap it down. And then along this long strap right here are multiple little straps that branch off from it, so that you can wrap them around through the openings of the spine board and then strap them down that way. I wish I was able to throw a visual up there to better explain it, but the spider straps are the way to go. That's the best way to get a person secured to a spine board and not have to worry about them coming out of that damn thing. So if they were going to be, utilizing this or storing this, if they had this in their armored vehicle or in their kit with the intentions of using it, then I think they should have had a spiderweb kit thrown into it as well. If they got this from the ambulance crew, then the ambulance crew should have offered to them the spider webs, or they should at least have some of the knowledge to use the spider webs and being able to get a person more secured to a spine board versus using fucking toe straps. That still cracks me up.
Take it out. Pull him back up.
Hey! I don't want to fucking keep fighting this dude up here.
Yeah.
Let it go, boy.
We're going to have to roll and get it underneath there.
You need to go under the board. Right. Board up. Roll towards me.
Okay.
Slack under there. Yep.
You're good, bro.
Board
You're
up.
good.
Going the other
You're
way.
Good. You're good.
Got it.
All right. All right.
Scotty, I got hand strap coming to you.
If I can get this green one on him, we're moving him. Okay.
Just one strap.
You're good, dude. Fix to get you down, bro.
We're getting you
Calm down, bro.
We'll get you down.
We're getting bad gas with now.
No.
No.
I'm good. What?
Hello. Stop. Oh, get up top.
Yeah, and go lower. Okay, I like it. Yeah, Rob was going to drive the APC up, but I guess not.
Yeah. Hey, we got a racket strap.
Oh man, they didn't show him getting off the roof. I really wanted to see how the fuck they did that.
Relax for us. Relax.
So,
Hey, we got a racket.
Taking them off this roof on the spine board like this. This is where calling the fire department in could have been advantageous for them, especially a ladder truck. They could have just very easily got the ladder truck up there, extended the boom, put them in the fucking bucket, and get them down. If not, then at least the firefighters are going to know better how to extricate this guy from the top of the roof and do it probably in a safer manner than what the SWAT team would be able to do, especially utilizing a fucking toe strap, one toe strap wrapped around this dude on a spine board. But let's say that they did have him fully secured down to the spine board. How are they going to safely remove him from the roof? So this is also where the knowledge of ropes and systems comes into play. So they could find an anchor point somewhere on this roof, probably the hole they made. They can go down in there with some extra tubular webbing, wrap around an anchor point, put a carabiner on that, and take a like this carabiner right here, someone else's carabiner, make a munter's hitch. If they got an 8-plate, hook the 8-plate up to that, get a line, hook that line up to that spine board right there, have them go over the edge of the roof right there, while lowering him down with the descending system that would be set up to an anchor somewhere. Or utilizing people on the roof is kind of like a belay, so to speak. Someone could, again, take a rescue line, a rope, and do a munter's hitch, or if they have an 8-plate, do the 8-plate on it, attach it to the spine board, and then that person could be on the other side of the roof, leaning back, people holding on to him, and then let the rope out, and he go over the edge, and then people down there as he's being slowly lowered, grab a hold of the board and start, positioning him and everything and getting him down from there. Other than that, I mean, you could get out the bells and whistles and affect a high-low angle kind of, textbook removal from this. Have the tripod set up and set the tripod up and have them all littered in and bring them over the edge and lower them down that way. There's going to be a lot of work involved in that. You could very easily simply just put something at the head of the spine board, anchor in through one of the support beams in the roof there, and munters hitch it or 8-plate it and lower them down that way. You can even, put in a Prusix on there, so add an emergency braking on there. That way, if you lose grip or whatever, at least the munters hitch, or I'm sorry, not the munters hitch, at least the Prusix cord is going to lock in and prevent him from falling the rest of the way. It's not like it'd be that great of a fall, but still, any kind of fall from a greater height than your own natural height is going to be potentially bad for you. But those are some options I could have done. I don't know what they did to actually get him off the roof on this spine board. I wouldn't put it past for them for just to try and lower him without any other means to do it effectively. Probably just did it hand over the side right there, and probably a kind of a hairy moment in and of itself. Maybe that's why they didn't include this in the footage.
Strap.
Well, that's relax for us. Relax. What's up? They cook that blood pressure again, stuff. Relax for me. If he's good, then we can go. Try to relax, man. Hey, what's your name? You know your name? You know your name? Hey, Pablo. Hey, Pablo, try to relax. Pablo. Hey, Pablo. Pablo. Relax, Pablo. Pablo. Gang it to go down to the hospital. Check the size. That's what they're doing. Yeah, that's
So at this point, his legs keep moving around and stuff like that. If this dude's got flex cuffs on him, the kind that aren't like prefabricated where they're already into a loop, if he could take one of those and loop it around an ankle and put the other, into this and strap them down and strap one leg to this side and one leg to that side, that probably would have been the best. Probably would have been the best thing to do, because this one lone little strap all by itself is not going to keep a person from being able to pull their arm or their legs up like that. When I talked earlier about the spider strap system, that one main strap that comes down the center that's midline, and it has all the ones that branch off to the side, they literally go into each little hand groove right here. And so you see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all these little hand grooves right here. That's where the spider straps can go in through. And there's multiple of them on there. So if you got multiple straps going straight across, here and then here and then here and then here, then that's going to be able to keep those legs pressed down a lot easier than just one little single strap down here at the feet. So all of his pulling force is up here with the thighs, and so a good strap from here right across over there would really limit his ability to draw his legs up like that.
Did we run that temperature across his forehead, I'm sure? Did we get anything? Yeah, no, we're trying to get it down. Oh, okay. We're going to go here pretty soon. All right. We better turn that over.
Yeah, it's terrible to begin with. And then it keeps going up and up.
At least we'll have this in title. Next call, and we can go. Turkey, we're going to get y'all out of here.
Appreciate it, for sure. 85% I'm lost.
Let's go, my man. Might not be ready well. It's already down. No time. Give me some oxygen. Cook it again anyway. Yeah. Hey, Paublo. Can you sit please? Calm down. Still inside, though. Yeah. Got that. Print that. Check it out. Let's go, man.
Just one of y'all, one of them, you're good. Oh yeah, our tours and tours take it. Yes, tours take it. Maybe y'all drive. We're good.
We couldn't get IV on them. We gotta close the door. Where's it going? Good. The oxygen tube is gonna be a fucking thing. Right here. There it is. Approximately 45-year-old male.
He's born in 69.
Born in 69, so 70, that's 50, about 53. This one nigga was supposed to be 15. We have a 53-year-old male with possible knee exhaustion. He was in the attic. Possible drug use, also heroin overdose. We're unable to get blood pressure. He's jumping around too much, unable to get some vitals. Vitals are SpO2 is at 88. Room air, no at 33. Heart rate.
So what you see going on right here is he is talking to the emergency room that they're going to be heading to. He's going ahead and giving them a report of what they've got as they're en route to them.
170. Unable to establish that either. So we're going to Methodist. We'll be there in about 1 minute. Thank you.
Actually sounded like he was talking to maybe their dispatcher, giving them the information, and then they'll call ahead to the ER. It's a little bit different in a lot of places on how the ambulance is set up. Some places the ambulance will have to talk directly to their dispatcher, give them that update, and then that dispatcher will be able to make the call to the emergency room and tell them what's going on. Sometimes the ambulance will have a radio that goes straight to the emergency room itself. And they'll be able to call in over that radio, talk to the emergency room there via two-way radio, and give them a real great live update as they're headed to them. So it's a little bit different wherever you go, but this is a pretty common thing for the medic to give a report that gets to the hospital before they get to the hospital. That way, people in the ER can go ahead and get prepared for what's coming.
Paublo.
We get them on. Take the whole life back.
Yeah.
Keep them on. see. Put it. We can put it down there.
Right there between his legs, right here.
That's it. Yeah. That's definitely him. You got the tattoo.
All right. So they had talked in that report that it's a possible overdose kind of thing. So I can't remember what they said at the beginning of this video. I was kind of distracted doing something else. So it's possible that there were some drugs there and he ingested them to get hide the evidence. And that happens a lot with people to avoid getting that possession charge. That if they're already got other stuff going on, they're on probation or whatever, if they get caught with that could revoke their probation and go back into the big house. Or they've already got so many prior convictions that another one is really going to hurt them. So they'll swallow drugs. They'll have little baggies of stuff, and they may have some heroin wrapped up in a little bag, and they'll swallow it, and with the hope and intention that they'll just poop it out and clean it off and sell it or use it. So it's not like they're saying, "All right, I'm checking out," and they take it, to unalive themselves. They're doing it to, hide it and pass it later, and then, like I said, clean it off and sell it or use it. So it happens a lot, and a lot of times people get away with it. They get lucky that the balloon don't burst, and they poop it out, and like I said, they clean it off and use it. Other times that thing bursts, and when you have a large amount of drugs, and it can be the smallest little bag, but it's a large amount to all of suddenly be introduced into the body's system, and boom, they can die of an overdose right there. And it happens a lot. So there's a possibility that this guy had drugs, and when he ran up to go hide in the attic, he swallowed those drugs, thinking that if they did end up finding him, then at least they wouldn't have found the drugs on him, and he wouldn't have a bunch of serious charges and wouldn't have to stay in jail or prison for a very long time. And of course, it burst in his stomach, and now he ends up dying. There's not much else to be said about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.